In your textbook, it talks about the major scale, and this is page 4 in this edition. It talks about the half steps being between the third and fourth and seventh and back to 1 steps of the scale, or mi, fa, and ti, do, and whole steps being between all the other notes. And then, goes over the accidentals. We've learned all this. And then it says you can make shorthand versions of these sharps and flats to make the scales with key signatures, which happen at the beginning of the line, and then that's good for the entire piece until it changes. And we'll spend more time next week learning how to write and identify these. But if we follow the textbook even further, has a self-test. And you should be good at these after all those worksheets we did. At the end of this sort of unit, we'll have you go and do the work in the textbook itself too, so that you can do this. But if you look, then it says minor scales. So that's what we're going to cover today, and we're going to give you a worksheet to start learning how to spell your minor scales. And after you know how to spell them, then we'll make sure that you have exercises so that you know them. So if we look here and we go, oh, I've got some kind of split thing going on here. This is not good. Let's see. We'll do this. Okay, good. C scale right there. And if you use the C scale to make chords, then C is the chord on the first scale degree. And then if I go to here, that's my F chord. You can't see it down here, but there we go. F, C, F, A, right? Notes in the chord don't have to come in the same order all the time. That'd be on the scale degree 4, but I'm using only white keys because I'm in that scale. And then my 5 chord, or scale on the 5th scale degree, C, D, E, F, G, right there. See if I can angle this a little better for you. There we go. Okay. Would be GBD, okay? And they have a certain sound and a quality because of the half steps in the scale. If we change the half steps in the scale to not be between mi, fa, or 3/4, and ti, do, or 7/8, we can get other scales. And the most common next one is the minor scale. And here's what you do. You put your half steps between notes 2 and 3, and 5 and 6, okay? And so if we did that, we'd go whole step, half step, whole step, whole step, half step, whole step, whole step. And that would not be a C major scale anymore, it would be a C minor scale. And as a result, by using the notes of this kind of scale, we end up getting chords that are different qualities. So now my C is a C minor chord, my F is an F minor chord, and my G chord is a G minor chord. My 3 chord would be not E, but E flat, which would be E flat major. And you see it vastly changes the character of the music that's created out of it. For every major scale, you can alter the notes and make it into a minor scale. And that's what we're going to learn today. So I'm going to teach you something that will help you immediately for doing that. And then we're going to forget it because we want to look at a different relationship of major and minor scales. When I say we're going to forget it, we're not. We're going to ignore it for the purposes of our what would I call it? Our exercises or work right now. So if I have C, D, E, F, G, A, B, and C, and this is C major scale, not chord, scale. If I want to turn this into a minor scale, shift where the half steps are, make them between 2 and 3, and between 5 and 6. Then what I would do is I would just flat this note right there, flat that note, and flat that note. This is note 3, this is note 6, and this is note 7 in the scale. If you lower third, sixth, and seventh note on any major scale, you will get a minor scale. Let's try that with one more scale real quick here. See if I can find myself an eraser. So let's spell an A major scale. That would be A, B, C sharp, D, E, F sharp, G sharp, and then A again, right? This is A major, not a major chord, but A major scale. If I go and I do this again, but I lower this note, it becomes plain old C, D, E, F, G, A, because this is notes, 3, 6, and 7. If I lower the third, sixth, and seventh note of any major scale, I get a minor scale. Good so far? You can do that for any of them. Okay, but what I want to show you is something else today, interestingly enough. It's a different way to approach these things because we care more than just about the notes, but we care about the relationships of the notes. This was my A minor scale because I lowered the C sharp, the F sharp, and the G sharp from the A. That's A minor. Notice that these are the notes of C major, right? C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. They match up. They start in a different place, but they're the same. This is an important relationship to know. It will help us be able to spell scales and when we see pieces of music, know how that they relate and understand key signatures. So this is A minor, and this is C major. And they have the exact same key signature or number of sharps and flats, in this case, nothing. They are called relative major and minor. They are related to each other. Think of the key signature or the sharps and flats involved, in this case none, as a house, and relatives live in the house together. So C major is the relative major to A minor, and A minor is the relative major to C major, or relative minor to C major. And when you see a key signature with no sharps or flats, you say, oh, I think I'm in the key of C or using the C scale, or maybe I'm using the A minor scale. And depending on the configuration of the chords and where home feels like, and we'll get into that more as we go along, then you can tell which one it is. And sometimes songs move back and forth between them, okay? All right, I'm going to go to another video now, and I'm going to move the camera so we can work on a worksheet together, and we'll expand on this idea.